Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina. In my last video I showed you how to make this flower using a Sizzix die and Glimmer Mist. My next flower I'm going to show you is still using a Sizzix die, and this time I'm going to use my Tim Holtz Alterations die, and I'm going to use two of the larger, two of the medium, and one of the smallest. But this time we're not going to use Glimmer Mist, we're going to use Distress ink. I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and use my re-inkers. I've found it easier, but if you don't have the re-inkers, you could just take your ink pad and dab that right onto your craft mat. And this is a Ranger craft mat that I'm using. Don't use your cutting mat because you will warp it with your heat gun. And I need to open this one, so let me get my scissors out. I have not done a flower yet using the scattered straw, so this is a new color for me. So let's get that. Let me move my little basket of inks out of the way. And what you need is your re-inker, your hot glue gun, your heat gun, and your pieces that I mentioned earlier from your Tim Holtz die. Also some pearls, my handy dandy tweezers, and let's see, and I don't know if I mentioned this already, but some sort of water spray. So let's get started. Let me just get some of the stuff out of the way. We're going to start by dropping a couple drops of our re-inker onto my craft mat. So probably about 8 drops you're going to need, maybe a little bit more, sometimes less. Sometimes I have to re-ink. So, oh yes, and of course you're going to need some sort of glove, so you don't get this underneath your fingernails, which you could drop your glove right inside it. Dropped it right down in the ink spots there, and you can see this is even in dyed, so, but it's will save your fingernails from, and you from torturing yourself trying to get this ink off of yourself. It does come off, but it takes a lot of work. As a matter of fact, I've done everything from nail polish remover to just soap and water, and even it's totally gone out of my head what it is. But anyway, what you do is just spray your water into your ink, and then you're going to take your pieces that you're going to use for your flower and just dip those right inside that ink. And you want to make sure you ink up both sides of each one. So I usually just kind of pat the ink, and you can, when I do this, I usually prepare myself for making a whole bunch of flowers. My favorite one to make is with the antique linen, because it really gives it a nice vintage look. I wanted to try one this time in the scattered straw. The paper I'm using is just plain white cardstock from Walmart, Georgia Pacific. Once you have those all inked up with your ink, you're just going to go ahead and, just like in the other video, just wrinkle these up really good. You can add Glimmer Mist to these after a while, just to give it that shine if you want the shine. Alright, so that's done. Let me just clean up my mat here. And I'm just using a paper towel for right now. I'll come back later on and clean that up with a baby wipe, but I'll get my glove off. And what we're going to do now is just open these up just like we did in the other video, making sure they're nice and wrinkled. This one is my favorite, and I don't know if I showed you what it looked like first. Here's what it looks like. This one I did with the fired brick. I love this one. This one's my favorite color. And I also Glimmer Misted this with, what Glimmer Mist did I use? The Dazzling Diamonds Glimmer Mist. Love that. That's a new color for this year, the Dazzling Diamonds. Okay, so anyway, back to making these. And you'll see they have like little splotches. Once you dry this, you're really not going to see that as much. So open these up, and we'll go ahead and speed up the drying process, which is just with my heat gun. And make sure your hot glue gun is plugged in, because you're going to need that too. So here we go. Okay, now some of these pieces are still a little wet, but that's okay because we do want to bend them a little bit. So what I'm going to do first is start with my smallest piece, and again I'm going to grab a little pearl here, and I did this in my last video too. I always start with the smallest piece, and I add my glue right to my pearl. And the reason why I do that is because I want to be able to, and you know, I came unplugged, my glue gun came unplugged. Alright, I'll be right back. I have to go and wait for my hot glue gun to warm up. Okay, so I glued my pearl with the hot glue right to the, or I take the hot glue right to the pearl, and I put that on the smallest piece, and again I kind of wrap that around, just like that. Hopefully you saw that. Okay, and then I start with my layers, and I'll start with the next smaller pieces, and I just layer those. Of course, what I do is I also stagger these and kind of curl them up a little bit. Okay, and then I do the same thing with my bigger pieces. Staggering the petals and curling it up a little bit, and see, as it dries it'll harden really. The cardstock hardens. It's not really flimsy. Okay, so now what I'll do is just add these pieces together. I really like the scattered straw color, because it's the first time I made the one with the scattered straw. Alright, now I have all my little pieces of hot glue strings to get those off there. Okay, and just like I did with my other one, except for this time I'm going to use my Glimmer Mist, and I don't know what I did with my, oh, I do know what I did with my, I'm going to use the Dazzling Diamonds, and I'm just going to spray this. I probably should have sprayed it before I put the pearl on, but that's okay. So I'm just going to spray it, and it kind of gives it a different look, and we'll just heat it up again, or dry it. Okay, and then like I did with my last one, I'm going to use some glossy accents. You can use anything that dries clear. I use glossy accents, and you can either put this on, like I said in my last video, just put it on as little drops and leave it like it's got just some water misted on it. I like to add the diamond dust, and I'll show you that in 1 second. And I just put dobs of the glue all over. I'll take my lid to my diamond dust, and this is the diamond dust. I don't want to tip it too much. I get this at Michael's in the adhesive aisle, and it says it's a used for floral. It is used for floral. Just remember, it is glass, so don't let it out and near children, or if you get it on the floor, clean it up, because I always worry that my cat's going to get in it and have it stuck in her paws. So just try to be careful. There we go. I have so much fun making these flowers. Once I start, I make a whole bunch in all different colors, so they have them ready. Like I said, the antique linen is my absolute favorite. So let me just zoom in here so you can see that a little better. Okay, so that's the one done with the distressed ink. And in my other video, we made this one, which was done with the Glimmer Mist. So don't forget, you can make these using cuts from your Cricut. So cut out different shapes, different flowers. Have fun with it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.